Hey guys, today we are talking about this month's market update, the month of April, and we are curious to see, has the market slowed down? Hey guys, it's Kelly Watkins with the Bridge Group with eXp Realty, and I'm here with one of our awesome agents, Catherine Thomas. We have a lot of people asking, interest rates are rising, is the market slowing down, what are we seeing? So we're excited to share with you the numbers for the month of April. So the interesting thing about the month of April is that any of these properties that closed in April probably contracted in February or March.
Yep.
This was kind of before the interest rates really started rising, so we haven't truly seen the effect of the rising interest rates, but it has changed slightly. And the reason it's changed is that it hasn't gone up at the same pace that it did last year. So total sales only went up by 0.2%, but the total dollar volume went up by 14.5%. And a lot of that has to do with the price point, which Catherine's going to talk about here in a second. Overall, on a year-to-date basis, we are 7.3% ahead of last year's record-breaking pace. So we're still very strong in this market.
So the average sales price in Houston in April was $426,000. This is a record high for the Houston market. In March, it was the first time ever we went over 400,000.
Okay.
So now in April, we're at 426,000. This is a 15% increase over last year's April. This is great news for Houston homeowners
Yes.
because the home values just continue to go up in price. So we're talking about April data. Coming into spring,
Yes.
looking into summer, we think more listings are hitting the market. Surprisingly, which I'm really excited about, 5.2% increase in active listings on the market, which I think is really great now that we have a lot of people on the market. I have a lot of my buyers.
Yes.
More listings is great news.
It's always good for the buyers, but the days on market actually went down from 40 days to 33 days. So the homes are selling just as fast, if not faster than they were this time last year, even though we have more inventory. So what that goes into as well is our close to list price ratio. So how much higher, if any, are buyers paying over the list price? Historically, it was way less, the past years, way less than the list price. They were getting good deals. Now, a good deal is just getting the property sometimes. And so the highest price ratio ever is 100.6%. So almost all of the buyers these days right now are paying over the list price to get that property. So it's just something for you guys to consider as a buyer or a seller in today's market.
And I think that's so important is why we analyze this data so that we can provide this information to our buyers, to our sellers. We know what's going on in the market and we're providing this information to everyone. So unless you've been, not watching the news, the feds are rising interest rates,
Yes.
right? They're actually rising at the fastest rate in 40 years.
Oh my
So
goodness.
the feds are doing a lot to curb inflation and unfortunately that's impacting
Yeah.
our market, the real estate market. So a lot of buyers are choosing just to continue renting instead of purchasing a home because of those rates. So
Yeah.
we're seeing that in the rental data. Rentals rose 17% with the average home being a little over $2,100. So that's new for us in the Houston market, and it's definitely, I think those will continue to rise as more and more people are deciding to rent.
Absolutely. So great for our landlords who have those rental properties. But the interesting thing is with those interest rates rising at such a high speed, we saw them in the low threes earlier this year. Now they can be up into the low to mid to high fives. I mean, they're just kind of a little bit all over the place. So every day you have to check with your lender and see where those interest rates are. Lock in those rates as soon as possible because we don't know, if and when they're going to continue to rise. That's something for our buyers to keep in mind. And the other thing that we're seeing is that for our sellers, we're not getting quite as many offers. So say sometimes we would get 10 offers, now we're seeing 3 to 5 offers on a single property. So it definitely has shifted the market, but we won't have the actual numbers on the May market until a few more weeks from now. So stay tuned for our May market update. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or lease in the Houston area, the Bridge Group is here to give you a best strategy for your real estate needs. We'll talk to you next week.